Good, good. Having fun out here. Um, teams worked hard kind of through camp. It's nice to get the first game. So you kind of, we've been at it for about 3 weeks. So it'd be nice to get out there and play and see what guys can do. Kind of see what we can do in the first preseason game and see where we're at against another team. So it should be a lot of fun.
You a little bit hoarse? Have you been yelling?
I know. I can't get it back, man. I don't know. It's been feels pretty good in the morning, and then by the time the practice ends, so got to get my my voice in shape too, along with your legs, everything else. You got to feel like you're barking out signals, and a lot of people out here. So, other than that, feeling really strong, really good.
What do you get yourself out of preseason after some of these years?
Well, I think you get it's just real game speed, and again, there's just little unpredictable looks that you don't necessarily have in practice. We've been 7 months or so since we've gone up against a team that, not that everyone's game planning, but everyone has different styles, techniques that they're working on, things they've probably done in the off season that they're trying to implement. So, you do it against your own team for a while, and then, you go up against another team, you kind of have the stuff that you've been doing, kind of see how it works against a new opponent. So it's a good opportunity for us to, and really good opportunity for a lot of guys to play. Last year, you kind of have the same group that plays most of the whole season. Now you got a new group of guys in here. A lot of guys are going to get, different opportunities, and you got to see what they can make of it.
What gives you the most confidence that your team's ready for the first game at this point in training camp?
Well, I think it's just we're really going to see kind of where we're at after this game, rather than, you could make different predictions and so forth, and this is where we're at, is what we're going to do and so forth. But the reality is you got to get out there and do it. Football's every team. It's amazing. Every team this year has a lot of hope. And the reality is by the end of September, a lot of teams will start losing hope, and then by the end of October, they'll be, some teams will be out of it already, and then by the end of November, so it happens really quick. Right now you got 32 teams that all think, they're going to be the team that wins it. So, you want to put yourself in a position to play well in training camp so you can be ready for the opener. You want to play well in September so you can be ready for October. And this is all just part of the process, getting ready. So I have a lot of confidence in our team. Obviously I played with our guys for a year now. I know what it's like in the huddle with them. I know how we can work throughout the week, and how we can put together a plan, and that'll give us a great opportunity to go out and be successful.
Tom, I know you've got to worry about your own preparation, but what have you just observed from Kyle Trask and how he seems to be grasping things?
Yeah, Kyle's done a great job. From the day that he got here, he's a very hard worker. Clyde works extremely hard with him to get him ready to go. Kyle's out here early, stays late, works with the younger guys. So all the things that you're, really looking for in a young player, this has got to be a huge priority in your life. If you want to be doing this job for a long time, you got to make it a huge priority. And there's no, you really don't know what you don't know at this point. You're 1 year in, or 2 years in, or 3 years in, or 5 years in. And someone who's 22 years in, what I knew at 5 years in is very different than what I knew at 10, and very different than how I feel now. So every year you're going to improve. You got to be able to retain a lot of information. You got to be able to really improve the weaknesses in your game, as well as maintain the strengths in your game. But it's just constant development, and it's really up to each individual, and not only Kyle, but I'd say a lot of young players. That's what you see. You gotta put the work in. You gotta listen. You gotta be humble enough to learn. You can't think you know everything. Football's too difficult of a game, and there's too much. It's not an individual sport. It's a coordination between a lot of different people. And you look on offense, 11 guys on offense that all need to be on the same page at the same time, or things aren't successful. So it may be okay if I know it, but if my left guard doesn't know what we're doing, we have a problem. So it's just constant communication, constant preparation. Every day, you have this opportunity to get better. And that's really what good football teams do. And the team we are now, I certainly hope we're a lot better in the month of September. The team we're going to be in October, I hope we're better than we were in September. And it's only going to come through a lot of effort, putting the pedal to the metal, really working hard to be on the same page. And, just understand that you can never be complacent, because it's very competitive. There's a lot of great football teams out there that all trying to get the same thing that we want to.
You're light years
saw the other day you guys were working on freestyle motion and shifts and all that.
Yep.
So how much has this evolved to your, as a team, your comfortability with your players and everything else? There's been an involvement, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I even think last year at this time, and we were talking about kind of end of game situations today. I mean, a year ago, 3 weeks into camp, I mean, I was still trying to figure out formations. What is, Tampa right mean? I mean, I don't even know what that means, and now, it just kind of rattles off your tongue, and, you get used to probably similar ideas and concepts, but they're all named differently. And it would be, kind of like English and Spanish. You got to literally learn a different language, and then really, kind of learn what you're doing. But then you got to learn how your players can do it, and then you still got to study how the defense is doing things. So, there's a lot of different challenges that you face. And I think for me this year, mentally, it's been much better, much easier to kind of assimilate my way into camp. Physically, I feel great. Best I felt, really in a long time. So, I feel like I'm in a good place, and I'm just going to keep working really hard we've got 1 week, about 3.5 weeks or so, which is for the first game, which is about, we've been started 3.5 weeks ago. So kind of about midway through camp. So going to really keep working and pressing the communication. But we're definitely making improvements, and we're gonna have to keep making improvements to be where we want to be by the opener against Dallas.
You talked about all the things that you had to do to just try to have some semblance of stability on game day, all the taping and things like that. Are you noticing that difference in stability on certain throws that you're out there making, like across your body, for instance? Are you feeling that stability more and more now?
Yeah, I feel really good. It's been, again, it's the first time in 14 years I haven't had to wear a knee sleeve. I mean, every picture I've had for 14 years has been a knee sleeve, and in games I'll still wear a knee brace just because I still want to protect, from kind of a vulnerable spot for a quarterback, your front left knee. But it's just nice to practice and feel like I can just kind of put a pair of shorts on and run out to practice. And last year it was like Alex and I taping it at 7:15 in the morning for a 11 o'clock practice. And, after games I would just wear the tape home sometimes, sleep in it. It was just, kind of is what it was and what I had to deal with. So it's good, though. I'm feeling, like I said, physically feeling great, mentally in a good place. I'm just really excited to see what our team can become. So it just starts on a daily basis. And, again, communicating with the tight ends. Cam's been out there for the first time in a few days. Receivers have kind of been in and out a little bit. But Chris has been out there a lot more this year than he was at this time last year, Scotty's been out there a lot. Getting OJ back to, now he's practicing a lot. So you got Cam, OJ, Gronk, Huddy, and Cody, plus the new tight ends, new backs. Gio's, really working hard and doing a good job. So it's, I think we all feel more comfortable with one another, which is a good feeling. I mean, football, again, is about anticipation. I'm not a really reactive athlete. People who have seen me play for a long time, I like to really anticipate things when I'm out there. So the more familiarity I have with the guys, I think the better it's going to look.
Hey, Tom, Bruce said that you'll start Saturday, but we could be in for a large mess here in Florida. Is there a point where, to you, it's not weighing that if this is like a total disaster where it's not worth it to you, and how do you prepare for that aside from tying up your jet skis maybe?
Yeah, we got to do that this time. I learned my lesson about these tropical storms. So,
Tie the jet skis down.
yeah, tie them down, get them out of the water.
Take 'em out of the water, yeah.
I know, even yesterday I had, looking out back, it was pretty nasty. So, but it's kind of neat, it's to see them all roll in and roll out. But I've yet to experience that during a game where you could have a delay or something like that. So, in the end, whatever the weather is, it is. Both teams are going to play in it. BA is going to make the call on whatever he wants us to do. I'm kind of always ready to go. I love playing football. I love competing. If he said, hey, you're going to play the whole game, I'll be ready to play the whole game. It's just kind of how I feel about, what I need to do for my job. And if he wants to not play, or 5 plays, 20 plays, whatever he wants to do, we'll be ready to go.
Hey, Tom, Bruce just talked about how you guys beat the virus last year before you beat any of your opponents. He said he thinks the vaccination level might be like 90% for this team.
Yep.
How are those conversations in the locker room, and how pleased are you by the levels you see in terms of guys trying to limit the risks to their teammates?
Yeah, obviously it's, different challenges, this year for all of us. Again, it feels more like 2019 than 2020 this year. So, it'll be interesting. I hope, I hope we just can make great decisions. As a team, I think what we can control is what's in our own control. Try to just be smart with kind of where we're at, what we're doing. I don't think anyone wants to miss any games. I certainly don't. So I don't do much outside of just kind of being at home and coming here anyway. So hopefully we can just navigate it as best we possibly can and understand that circumstances have changed very differently than last year. So we'll just try to do the best with the way things are at this year.
You recently got into NFTs. What led to that interest? And what was it like kind of seeing that process from start to finish with your launch this week?
Yeah, it was great. Again, I think when I was a kid, there was nothing more I loved than kind of collecting baseball and football cards. Whenever I got good grades, which I didn't get many of them, my mom would take me to What's on Second Sports Cards in San Mateo, and I'd get a pack of baseball cards or a pack of football cards. So I always collected them. And I see my kids now, and they're just on their digital devices all the time. They're on their iPads or iPhones, and they're playing games and they're collecting, whether it's Fortnite skins or there's a new game kind of every day that the kids love. So it's just a different opportunity for people to collect different type of signature items that probably are more available digitally than they would be tangibly. So I think it's really cool. It's kind of a really cool space to be in. So much creativity. There'll be probably a lot of different places for NFTs and NFT marketplaces to grow. But certainly I think the digital collectibles are a thing of the future. And I really wanted to kind of be ahead of the curve and partnered with some really great people to do it. Got a bunch of really cool people on our advisory board. So it's really kind of been fun to do. And I've done some different kind of entrepreneurial things off the field over the years. But this is kind of right on the cutting edge of things that are happening in the moment.